Welcome to another edition of Money Talks. Today we have with us Jason O'Neill, President of Franklin Financial. Now, Jason's firm specializes in helping people improve their credit scores. You know, Jason, what got me when we were talking before the show was the fact that you were saying that poor credit is almost like having a gun to your head, and that it gives many businesses a license to virtually steal. Can you elaborate on this a bit more for our audience?
Let's say, for instance, you're someone that has a 720 credit score. You go out there and apply for a car loan. You can get the cream of the crop rate no matter what. I mean, you're going to get a 4 to 6% interest rate, whatever the standard rate for good credit is at the time. Now, on the flip side, you go out there and apply and you have a 550 credit score. You're going to get an 18 to 29% interest rate, and now you have to spend hundreds of dollars a month more than you would had you had a 720. On top of that, over the course of the loan, you're going to spend thousands of dollars more.
What if someone does have a few black marks on their credit report? How can you go about changing that?
The first thing you have to understand is the credit bureaus, they're nothing more than third-party companies that are simply in business to collect your information, sell that information off at a profit. Okay? There are several laws that are written to protect your rights, most notably a law called the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Essentially, you take the credit bureaus. If they're responsible for your financial well-being, obviously there's got to be some sort of checks and balances. So there's laws that are written to protect you as a consumer. Now, what it boils down to is if you have black marks on your credit report, under the law, you have a legal right to challenge that information for a variance of reasons. You can say it's unverifiable, obsolete, not yours, whatever you want to challenge it for. Point being, the burden of proof lies on the credit bureaus and it lies on the creditors. Doesn't lie on you. This is the United States of America. You are innocent until proven guilty. The credit bureaus, they'd like you to believe that it's the other way around.
In other words, you go to the credit agencies and tell them this is wrong, and then they have a certain amount of time in order to act?
Yeah.
Okay, and what are their possible actions?
Well, they're most likely going to contact the credit bureau using an automated system called eOscar, which is sort of similar to an email system. They're going to load your challenge into a computer, and they're going to email the company basically saying something to the nature of, hey, does your information match up with our information? Yes or no. At the end of their investigation, they're going to send you an updated copy of your credit report telling you what the dispute results were, whether it's been deleted, whether it's been updated, or there's new information, whatever the case may be. That's how you start the process. Now, from there, you have to force them, you kind of dangle the carrot in front of them, so to speak. Mm-hmm. You make them start jumping through some hoops. When you keep in mind that credit bureaus, if they're in business to collect and sell this information, mm-hmm. and not to make sure the information's accurate. When's the last time, Carl, that the credit bureaus contacted you and asked you if it's okay for them to load something on your credit report?
Never.
Exactly. And that's what we're around for, is to help people get their credit situation straightened out. Now, the one thing to understand is that credit scoring is a system. If you understand that system, there really isn't anything at all that can keep you from getting your credit score on track. One thing that you have to understand, Carl, is the credit bureaus, all they are is 3 publicly traded companies that are in business simply to collect your information and sell that information off at a profit.
So what you're saying is that it isn't only possible to amend your credit score, but that your firm has done this for thousands of people?
We're well into the thousands at this point, yep. And there's not a single thing that you'd see on a credit report that we haven't seen hundreds of times at this point, whether that be bankruptcies, judgments, foreclosures, repossessions, child support, some of the smaller stuff like charge-offs, collections, you name it. We've seen it all, and they're not necessarily that we get 100% of the stuff deleted, because I don't want to tell you that, but we have a pretty good success rate, and there's not any single item that we haven't seen get deleted off a credit report in the past. I can tell you that much.
If I came to you with less than ideal credit, how would you go about helping me to turn my credit score around?
The very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to obtain a copy of your credit reports, and we're going to have a licensed paralegal that's going to sit down with this credit reports, and she's going to prepare a legal challenge for all the items that we deem to be unverifiable, obsolete, not yours, whatever the case may be. I mean, we'll discuss this further, after you come into the program, but at that point, the credit bureaus, once we contact them with these challenges, the ball's in their court. You know, think about it as a tennis player. We're going to hit the ball onto their side of the court, and now they're forced to return serve to us. You know, they're going to have 30 days to investigate these claims, and at the end of 30 days, you'll get an updated copy of your credit report, and that's going to give you an itemized description of what the challenge was and how the challenge went, whether that item was deleted, whether it's updated, whether they have new information, whatever the case may be.
How long does the process typically take?
I like to err on the side of caution. When I talk to people, I'm not going to tell someone it's going to be a 2 or 3 month process, because that's just flat out bull. If you want to fully restore your credit standing, you're going to have to be active in the process. Okay, it's not going to happen overnight, but you got to start at step 1. If you start rebuilding your credit, we'll start working on the negative information. On average, it takes about 6 to 12 months, but hey, it's still a whole lot better than living with that credit for the next 7 to 10 years, right?